Hi, my name is Malia Pippins,
And I'm Edgar Ludwikowski.
and we have the opportunity to work at Second Chance, a risk reduction center.
This is one of our clients. Due to the nature of our work, we cannot share his name. However, his story is very similar to what thousands of incarcerated and formerly incarcerated people face every day in Missouri. He is a father to a daughter, and he deserves a second chance. Yet due to the nature of his incarceration, he has been inhibited for years on developing that relationship with his kid. This is a problem.
To introduce our problem, I would like to use a storm analogy. I would like everyone to think of a tornado. A tornado is characterized by a rotation. It is also a natural disaster that destroys things that are in its way. There is a rotation of going in and being released from the incarceration system. This rotation is also reflected into the justice impacted people, hindering their healing process. Me and Edgar conducted a survey, and that survey stated that 70% of the justice impacted parents believe that were not able to stay in contact with their parent. 60% said that they did not have an advocate for them on the outside, and 70% said they did not feel supported by the system.
This is where our solution comes in. Our solution will model a citywide program in St. Louis and Cape Girardeau called Amachi. Amachi works as a branch of Big Brothers Big Sisters, a mentorship program that affects many cities across the United States. However, Amachi specifically deals with children of incarcerated parents. It's important to understand the details of implementing Amachi into Kansas City, and that's what we're here to explain. The first step is finding eligible spaces for this program to work. Malia and I worked with the Hope Center down in Santa Fe in order to find an eligible space to conduct classes, as well as have spaces for these mentors to meet with who they are paired with in a safe environment. Now, the details for how Amachi works are also important. First, children of incarcerated parents would have legal guardians in their lives, enroll them in the process of Amachi, and then have an extensive screening process so that those kids can be effectively paired up with mentors. These mentors are also enrolled in Amachi, and they are community members, coaches, parents. Anyone who is qualified is allowed to be a big or a mentor. After these parents, teachers, coaches, and role models are enrolled within the program, they are going to be paired up with a specific formerly incarcerated individual's child, and then through them they'll spend within a 1 hour to 2 hour a week rate with that kid, and then there are specific classes for those kids available to them that are deemed by the big mentor whether or not it's suitable for that relationship. It's important to understand that although this is a big task, it will work. Because we've already partnered with the Hope Center in finding an eligible space for these classes to be held, as well as for the partnering to take place, we know for a fact that if we were to introduce this, we would have the spaces available to us to introduce us. And also, because we are modeling after Amachi in eastern Missouri, we have data for what exactly this is doing. In fact, we've seen that over 724 children of incarcerated parents have already enrolled within the eastern Missouri program. There is a clear need. Moreover, 83% of Amachi littles that have been surveyed reported a positive experience change from being previously enrolled in other programs than to being enrolled within Amachi. Moreover, 78% of Amachi littles surveyed reported social acceptance with their formerly incarcerated parent after being enrolled in Amachi. It is clear that one, not only there is a need for these formerly incarcerated parents' childs to have the spaces available to them to develop that relationship, but two, that Amachi works as the means to that end.
We ask you to look into your life and consider who would be a good mentor. Amachi will be successful if we get community helped. We ask you to look into your heart and take out the community bias against incarcerated, justice impacted people.
Everyone deserves a second chance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Third question, just to clarify, so your pitch started out with a gentleman who had been incarcerated and kind of talking about the disconnect he had with his children.
Mm-hmm.
However, the program is specifically just about the child, not the incarcerated parent.
No, so it works directly with the child, but it's meant to ease that relationship with the formerly incarcerated parent and the child. So the goal of the program is to kind of bridge that gap.
And the place, the location, the Hope Center would be where they meet?
Yeah, for classes and for because they're meeting in person. Yeah, it's where they would meet for classes as well as what other activities the big
Child and
deems.
the parent.
Both, or sorry, the child and the mentor.
And the mentor, and then the child will have contact with the parent in a different
Mm-hmm.
location.
What we found was that some children are reluctant to form a relationship with their incarcerated parent because it was that time gap. And so with our program, when they go to the Hope Center, they will be given a mentor who can help them negotiate those feelings and to help them understand like what was happening. And so we think that if a mentor is in place, they can have someone to talk to rekindle that relationship with their parent.
Mm-hmm.
And who will be talking to the parent?
The mentor.
Well-
What we want is to give the kid an advocate so they can express themselves with the parent. We believe that the kid and the parent can have that one-on-one, but we just need to give them the atmosphere and the space to let out that trauma and those feelings that have been building up since the parent has been gone.
Right. It's absolutely case by case, but the program is to kind of get rid of the barriers for the kid that could be in way of the relationship.
And these classes and stuff that you're holding at the Hope Center, who's facilitating those classes?
Well, we're going to be working with conflict resolution groups. Like I mentioned, like this is a longer term project, especially relative to ProX projects. So that's something that we have to hash out.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.